Greetings. I wanted to open this very quick video just by saying that Passover has come and gone. And with that in mind, I wanted to play a very brief clip from a video which Teotw Ministries put out last January. Now, this clip is only about a minute long, it's just a few seconds over a minute. And as you listen to this clip, note how Yakoba from Teotw Ministries, one of the Teotw twins, says that China and Russia have America surrounded. Note how he makes reference to a military exercise, which would be happening shortly before the Passover. And note how he connects that with his interpretation of the Septuagint version of Jeremiah, placing the second Exodus during Passover. Note how he says that these are not coincidences, and that we'll soon find out who was right and who was wrong regarding his Amerocentric understanding of the 400-year prophecy in Genesis 15. So we're going to pick this clip up slightly after the 1 hour, 19-minute mark of the show, and fair use.
Now you got Russian ships on the coast of American land, Chinese ships on the coast of American land, surrounding this nation. Sounds similar to what happened when they went into Ukraine. And just so happens there's going to be an exercise in February, right before Passover. What's that scripture I read in the other day? And the Exodus is supposed to happen on a Passover, according to the Septuagint. Is that Jeremiah 28 in the Septuagint? I don't believe in that. I don't believe in coincidences. Guess we find out really soon who's correct. That's right. Don't believe me. Ain't no 400-year prophecy. Stay in your delusion, if you will.
All right, so having listened to that, didn't it sound like last January Yakoba was confident that the second Exodus would happen by Passover, right? And that's why it was worthwhile to begin by noting that Passover has come and gone. Passover came and went. And, it would seem that Yakoba once again misinterpreted the different elements he was trying to pull together. And perhaps the goalposts might be moved yet again for his ever-shifting interpretation of the 400-year prophecy. And as is alluded to by the video which you see on your screen, which happens to be my video from last November, which I'll link to in the video description, this misstep it's not a one-off, right? And just to be clear, I'm not making this video just to pick on the Teotw twins, as, of course, we're all fallible and we all made mistakes. So it's not a problem if they made one mistake here or one mistake there, right? That's going to happen to all of us. But there is a question of whether one learns from those mistakes. Will the Teotw twins merely push the date a bit further back, or will they take a moment to give some thought to their methodology? Honestly, it's worthwhile asking if they're even aware of their own methodology. For an analogy in that regard, I'd note another video they put out last December titled Birth Pangs, Wild Beasts Attack, and I'll link to that video in the video description as well. In that video, Yakoba basically showed clips which he found on social media of, people getting attacked by animals. And his commentary on those clips included repeated insinuations that those clips are a fulfillment of prophecy, right? And on multiple occasions in that video, he alluded to people saying that his Amerocentric interpretation of the 400-year prophecy was in error, right? The tacit argument of the whole video was basically people say the 400-year prophecy was wrong, but then how do you explain these sensational videos I just saw on my news feed, right? That was basically, that's the easiest way to sum up that video, or the line of reasoning in that video. And that is the issue with the Teotw twins' approach, with their methodology. Over and over again, they attempt to interpret the Bible through the lens of whatever the latest sensational stories are in their social media feeds. No serious thought is given to how many people have gotten end-time prophecies wrong in the past, right? No thought is given to how history is filled with people trying to interpret the Bible through the lens of their own limited understanding of the controversies and challenges of their own little time and location, right? And the Teotw twins don't draw any lessons from that history, much less from their own missteps, right? They just keep pointing to something in their newsfeed and making vague connections to the Bible, declaring the combination to be some sort of obvious sign, right? And for me, one humorous yet nonetheless glaring example of that are the folks who would point to quote-unquote murder hornets. Not that long ago, there was a lot of sensational news on social media about murder hornets or giant hornets. And of course, the Teotw twins were trying to make vague connections between that and the Bible. And, I think it's obvious that the murder hornets thing was overblown. And then so that begs the question, why was that treated as a lens through which to interpret the Bible? It should be taken as a lesson about the imprudence of trying to interpret the Bible through whatever little sensational bit of news is appearing in your social media feed. Food for thought. On that note, I'll close the short video here. God bless.
When you need them. Murder hornets. Murder hornets. Have you even seen one? Murder hornets. Hornets started eating babies. Thank God.